Hey everyone, Zeph and Moses here, and in today's video we are checking out the CameTV Kumunik8. These are wireless intercom headset systems. I know you've seen me review a few of these in the past because we use them a ton on our live stream events. Today's review is a 4 headset pack. These are double-eared, so we're going to show them off. I'm going to share with you some of the specs that I have down here. I'm going to say right off the bat that I am not being paid to do this. This is not a sponsored video. This has been sent to me, and when companies send me their products, they know that I am at liberty to say whatever I want about them. That means that I'm going to tell you if it sucks, I'm going to tell you if it's great, but I am not motivated to give a full 5-star glowing review. So we're going to give you an honest overview of what this item is like, and I'm going to share some of the stats with you. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one of these headsets on, I'm going to leave one here, and we're going to mic it up so that you can hear the audio quality, and I'm going to walk outside around my building. So you're going to hear what happens when I go outside the walls of my office for a distance, a few hundred feet. I won't be able to test all the way up to the maximum of this, but definitely a good range that would be likely to be used in a live stream or a conference setting. Cool, let's go ahead and dive right in. This is the CameTV Kumunik8. I'm just gonna read off my little cheat sheet here, some of the notes. The Kumunik8 duplex digital wireless headsets. Now, they come in a pack of either 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, or 9, but if you're getting the 7 or the 9 pack, take note that you're going to have a base station that amplifies that signal so that you can still get that maximum range on all of the headsets. This is because in the smaller packs like the 2, 3, and 4, and I believe the 5 as well, there is one master headset, and that kind of sends out all the radio frequencies to all of the other headsets, so you don't need a base station. Once you get into more headsets, chances are it would destroy the battery life, so you need to have a base station that can send out that signal to all of your headsets. There's options for both a single ear and a double ear, and I want to let you know that if you're on live streams that are typically very loud and noisy, like a concert environment, that's where the double ear really comes in handy, and so that's why I specifically asked CameTV if they could send me the double ear, because this is very different from what I use in the past. You do also have an option for single-eared headsets as well, and that's also in the 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 headset. This goes for a range of 1,500 feet or a 450 meter distance. And while I can't fully test an exact 1,500 feet, the test that you're going to see in a little bit is going to be through walls and at least a few hundred feet away, so that I can imitate a hotel or conference room ballroom that could be a few hundred feet or potentially into some breakout rooms that are next to it. So going through a wall is not necessarily what these were made to do, but I want you to see a real world example, because let's be honest, there's always times where you might have somebody walking out of the room or who needs to be in a room next door, and so we want to see what these are fully capable of. The battery that comes with these is the NB6L battery, and what's nice about that is it can be purchased on Amazon. I'll link to it down below, so it's nice to always be able to buy extra batteries and not have to get a proprietary battery from the company that made the headsets. It comes with this hard shell case, as you can see. The master headset is good for about 10 hours on a battery charge, and the remote headset, so the ones that attach to the master headset, are good for 13 hours. I've used a ton of different wireless intercoms, and I will say that these ratings are almost spot on, but if you're using them all day, there's a good chance that you might not get that full 10 hours out of it, maybe 7 or 8 hours. But I also always recommend that when you break for lunch, plug those batteries up, get those charged back up for that 1 hour break during lunch. The channel bandwidth is listed as 1.728 megahertz, and frequency bands are 1.78 to 1.93 G. Battery capacity is 1,000 milliamps, and the microphone has a very close pickup pattern, so it's made to try to reduce that outside sound and mostly just pick up your voice, since it's going to be right next to that microphone. Now, one of the cool things I learned about this is if you do get the bigger sets like the 7 or the 9, and it comes with that hub, you can actually use a 3.5mm TRRS audio input and output port to send the audio to another device. But alternatively, it can work the other way. You can actually insert an audio feed. So what if you took that base station and you took the audio feed from your program out from your live stream and you injected it into the headsets? That allows each and every person that's on the headsets to hear your program audio. And then depending on how you inject that audio, you can tweak the volume from there so that maybe they're just hearing it lightly in the background, but that allows them to hear everything, whether it's your video playbacks or the speakers at the conference. What I really like is that you can use it both ways. And if you attach TRRS earbuds to that hub, then it can be worn with a belt clip and you can actually use the hub itself to communicate too. So you're almost gaining another headset that can be used with the kit when you have that hub. So some of the things that I want to talk about when I open this up are going to be build, portability, the distance, audio quality, and battery life. Let's go ahead and get this guy opened up. First and foremost, it's important to mention that having a hard shell case is a really nice feature. I've got a hard shell case with the Hollyland ones, but it's a bit of a molded fabric, but it's very good at protecting all of the headsets. But I will say having the rubber case or this kind of Pelican material case really just prevents this whole thing from getting crushed. And that's important when I'm traveling with a lot of gear. So on that sort of build and portability standpoint, I want to just call that out, that having this hard shell case that's delivered with the headsets is a really nice feature to have. Now, inside the case, you'll see we have all 4 headsets and they are folded up nice and neat. So when you pull these out, it's kind of nice, the earmuffs fold into themselves so that it doesn't take up as much space in the case. These are brand new, so they've got some plastic on them still, and we've got a few buttons on the side, so that allows us to up and decrease the volume in case you want it to be louder or softer. I know personally, I've been on live streams where some people like to yell into the wireless intercom systems, and then I've got to turn down the volume, so that's always a great feature to have. Another thing that I like about the build on these is that they've got a really nice thick padding on the top of them. Some wireless intercoms that I've used before, they tend to feel like a vice on your head, and after especially a 4-hour, 5-hour, maybe even a 10-hour day, you're gonna have a headache if you don't have some really nice thick padding on them. So the last thing we want is something that's really going to squeeze your head. Fortunately, it feels like these have just enough give that they'll stay on your head, but they will also stay relatively loose so that you don't get a headache. As far as the build goes, most of this is plastic. There's a little bit of metal throughout, especially on the mouthpiece here, but there's also some metal here in the connectors to the piece that sits over the head. Now, if I want to extend these, if I got a bigger head, I can't pull these out, and this is something that I've seen on some of the headsets. Instead of pulling them out of the top, they actually get pulled out from this piece, if you can see that there, to see that this slides down. So that's a little bit of a different take on this and being able to extend them to fit a larger head. It looks like you get that adjustment down here where the actual earpiece slides up and down. So let me go ahead and get these on. I'm gonna pull the battery is actually inside here in some plastic. So let me go ahead and pull this guy out just to get this out of the way. All right. So I've got the headset on here, and what's really nice is it's kind of noise dampening, I guess. It's not active noise canceling, but because it's surrounding my entire ear, it's really preventing a lot of the outside noise in the room from coming through. I could still hear things like if somebody was talking in the room, but it will be relatively muffled. What I like about that is that's going to allow me to really hear what's being said over the wireless intercoms, but that is something where you may want to focus on incorporating that program audio into the feed using that hub so that you can hear everything that's happening on the live stream. Because if you're a camera operator and you're trying to follow the action, it might be important to really hear what's being said up at the front of the room. But all in all, very comfortable as far as how it fits my head. There's a ton of padding around the ears. It's pretty big, so it's fitting over top of my ear entirely. I feel like if you have big ears, it would be okay for you. And it's not super heavy, so it's not kind of weighing my head down. It's not making me feel like my head's just gonna like fall over because it's so heavy. And overall, it's very comfortable to wear. Now, I can go ahead and flip up this piece, and that will automatically mute. If I bring it back down, then I can be talking again. And let's go ahead and open up the rest of this case. Let's see what we have in here, what came with it, and then we're gonna get ready to do our test. These batteries, again, these are 1000 milliamp hours. It's pretty common for the other wireless intercom systems that I've seen. So this is going to hold up for anywhere from that 7 to 10 hour day. Again, I do recommend charging it in the middle of the day when and if you have the time. So here's our second one. Here's our third one. Our fourth headset, and we have a little USB cable that's hidden away in here. And then in the middle of this case, we've got a couple things that are tucked in. For starters, you've got a charger so that you can charge all of your batteries at one time. This is a 4 battery charger, so that's what's going to go with the USB cable. And then there's another box here on the side, and this is our power brick, and that's going to charge the charger right here. Now, one thing that I like about this charger actually has both a USB-A and USB-C plug, and then the cable that it came with, this is USB-C to A, and the charging block itself is C. So you're gonna come out of the USB-A to C, and that will leave the C on here available for anything else. What's cool about that is you could basically use that to charge your phone or any other device that you might have on hand that needs to get charged. So it allows you to save an outlet there and not have to go plug one more thing into all of your power strips. So build quality. All in all, you're going to see the price point of these be plasticky and metal and hybrid in that build. Anytime you're spending around $1,000 for a 4 set of these, you're not going to get that full metal build or anything that, is made to really take a beating. Let's go ahead and get this set up so that we can do our test. What my plan is I'm going to take one of these headsets, I'm gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna put a microphone inside of it so that you can hear my voice getting picked up. Then I'm gonna take the other headset and I'm gonna walk down the driveway here outside of my office. I'm gonna take my iPhone with me and kind of film myself so you can see how far I'm going. And then when we get back, we're going to have to see how far I was able to go and how the recording and quality held up over time. Ready to get started? Let's go ahead and do it. Okay, so we've got our microphone here. It's staying here, it's going to record. I'm going to record this on my phone and start walking, and we're gonna go around the building, and I'll keep these camera shots up. We'll play that audio once I get outside so you can hear the quality and you can see how far it goes. Alrighty, so we are leaving the studio. One of the things that I did was I actually measured the distance if I were to go on a walk. And so if I hit this corner, I've actually screenshotted it so I can show you a diagram of how far away I am when I hit this corner from the office. So the office is back here behind me, and this is now the corner of the parking lot, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk to the top corner. This is by the entrance of my building, and I want to see how far this range will go, because remember, we're going through a couple walls here. My unit is not the office on the corner, so that signal has to go through a few walls, through windows, and we're going to have to see when the signal gets broken up as we walk further and further away. Now, I measured this to be at about a few hundred feet. I'll actually put the measurements on screen so that you can see it, and you should be able to hear whether the quality of my voice is deteriorating. This distance is probably equivalent to a bigger ballroom in a hotel. I don't exactly have a football field to be able to measure how far, but you can see here, my office is actually around that corner back there. Now I'm turning the corner again, so this is back to the side of my office, right? My office is back here. And sorry for the potato quality as far as my phone recording goes and cutting my head off. Because I do not have the ability to hold my hands and frame the camera and walk walk around the entire building. But hopefully we're still getting some audio going to our headset in the office. We're actually going right back into the office here. We've walked the whole building, and here we are back at the office. Okay, we're back in, and we should be still recording. Let me go ahead and pull this recording out. I'm going to check it, and then we'll do a final answer as to how that went. Okay, so I'm back from my little walk around the building, and I have to kind of put a little asterisk next to this part of the video because this wasn't a complete test where I just had a field that was 1,500 feet to test the full range. But for me personally, I wanted to test, can the signal go through walls? How far is it going to go if I walk out of the room? And can it at least hit a range of about 300 to 400 feet if I'm in a big hotel ballroom? The answer is yes, it can. Now, you'll see from the demo that I created that as I started to turn the corner of the building, I was okay, but once I was about 300 to 350 feet away from my office, the signal was going through the wall and around the corner. That was where we started to get our dropout. So I can say without a doubt that going through walls about 300, 350 feet is totally okay, and this is a concrete structure, concrete and brick with glass windows, so the signal can definitely go through walls up until a certain point. I would say that if I did have a line of sight, I'd easily have no problem with the signal going beyond 1,000 feet, and I believe that it could hit that full 1,500 feet that it is rated for. So all in all, I think that this is a great product when it comes to that range. And of course, my test was kind of putting it through the ringer and showing you a worst case scenario of going through multiple walls and all the way around a building. Now, as far as the quality of the sound, this is where I will say it's probably lacking a little bit. Now, it's hard to fully tell what it sounds like, right? Because I put a microphone in the headset, so you're hearing a microphone recording of what is playing through the headset. To me, it does sound kind of like that radio walkie-talkie sound, but we are getting a very similar sound on a lot of other wireless intercom headsets. The question is it clear enough? Can you understand what I'm saying? And if we were in a loud and noisy environment, would these double headsets allow us to hear that clearly to do our job? And the answer is unequivocally yes. So is it super high, pristine quality? Like, are we expecting this hi-fi experience? No, we're not gonna get that out of something like this. But again, with other intercom systems in this range, I also have seen that we're getting a similar audio quality. So all in all, I think at the price point for this intercom headset, I think you're getting what you pay for, and I don't think it's a bad experience. I think this is definitely usable on a live stream or on a video set. Like I said, this comes in a huge collection of 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and 9 headsets, and you get your option to pick from. You can also do both the double headset or the single headset. You've seen a real world live example. You've heard what the audio quality sounds like. I've shown you a little bit about the build quality, the case that it comes in. It's up to you to make your decision, but I think that the CameTV Kumunik8 wireless intercoms are a good option if that fits your budget and your needs for your video shoots or for your live streams. Now, if you're looking to grab a set of these, please consider using the links down below this video. I've linked to the headsets for you so that you don't have to go searching for them. And if you use these links, they greatly support me and the channel and in running the channel at no additional cost to you. Thank you again so much for watching this video. I can't wait to get another one out to you. Thanks again to CameTV for sending these over for me to play with, and I will see you next time.